Okay, welcome to the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison. If you haven't already, subscribe, ring the bell, and let's see what's going on today.
Okay, this is going to be controversial, but I'm going to say it anyways. Your spouse cheating does not all of a sudden make everything you ever did wrong in the relationship okay.
100%. Now, what she's trying to do, this woman, is justify the trouble that she's caused by pursuing a guy for 5 months. When a woman's on with another bloke and you're married to her, your spirit picks up what's going on. She pursued a bloke for 5 months and then got banged by the bloke and possibly his friend. He had a friend with him, which aggravates you. You know when something's wrong. Now she's trying to say all your anger to the husband and everything and the carry-on isn't justified by the fact that she cheated. The actual truth of the matter is she should be saying, sorry for the anger and frustration that I caused you while I was pursuing another man. Can you see how she's trying to justify herself? I had a wife, my last wife, I had to ask her to leave and go house an adult son somewhere else, infantile adult son. Wouldn't pay his rent or anything. Go house him somewhere else, so that wrecked the marriage. But after it all, she sent me a text, and she meant it. I'm sorry for all the trouble that my children and myself caused you. And I kept that text because it was all I had to justify the way I'd been treated. A lot of you guys are out there suffering at the hands of unaccountable and unresponsible women that have left you absolutely just devastated and destroyed. You've lost your children, they've taken assets from you and everything that they didn't work for. And you've really done nothing wrong. This is what shits me about these women. They cause anger and frustration. They really don't give a shit because they're used to upsetting people and getting told to get up the road because they're unable to resolve things. But when you get women like this that are saying all your anger and all the rest of it that you bunged on me, which was a consequence of her playing up, isn't justified by the fact that she cheated. I'm sorry, it is. Where do you think the anger and shit comes from, guys? Gee, you got to be careful.
Your spouse cheating doesn't make your neglect null and void. It does not make your
Neglect.
verbal abuse or physical abuse null and void.
Well, I don't know who she's addressing here, but it wouldn't have been a husband because I've heard this story. If you're physically abusing or verbally abusing somebody, it's time to tell them to go. My last girlfriend, she drove me to the point where I got angry on the phone and I just went, no, that's it, we're done. Never heard from her again, didn't want to hear from her again. Sent her a letter explaining exactly what caused me to end up the way I did, because I don't think you should leave people guessing when everything's going all right and then the next minute they're fucking gone because they haven't resolved an issue. These people, if you're physically and verbally abusing someone, get out. Get out of the relationship and find someone that's going to treat you with respect so that you're not in that mindset. These people will put you in that mindset. This woman would be a very difficult woman. Unresolved, it doesn't matter how cool, calm and collected these women are, guys. Unresolved is going to wear at you and it is going to make you break.
It does not all of a sudden excuse anything you ever did wrong.
And you know what? Who would think that? Who would be going, well, you've had an affair and that makes me perfectly okay? No, if your woman's having an affair, man, you better get your fucking head down and ass up and work out why and where you went wrong and what you need to fix. You don't just turn and point the finger, okay, she's been banged by another bloke, can't change that. What caused her to get there? 9 times out of 10, it's their own mindset. But that's no reason for you to stop working on yourself and bettering yourself.
Cheating is never okay. But if it happens to you, it doesn't automatically make you the perfect person in the entire relationship.
See how she's trying to
Okay,
justify herself? See that? I want to play that last bit again. Let's see if that's it.
Automatically make you the perfect person in the entire relationship.
Hang on.
But if it happens to you,
Hang on. Here we go.
Cheating is never okay. But if it happens to you, it doesn't automatically make you the perfect person in the entire relationship.
Well, it doesn't make you the bad person in the relationship either. And this is where women try and justify themselves. Guys, you've got to stay on your purpose. You've got to stay in your character building. You've got to have self-introspection. You've got to make sure that you're doing all things right so that these people, these ones that have been banged by other men and their friends and everything, can sit there and say what they like about you, but your mind's clear, your conscience is clear. You've presented yourself the way you should have, you've acted the way you should have, you've blessed that person in your presence, you've shown them masculinity, you've satisfied them, you've fed them, you've fucked them, you've done everything you can to be a tremendous host. Don't listen to their crap, man. Don't listen to the shit they're bunging on. Don't do it, man. Let them die and drown in their own evil. There's no justifying it at all. I've had tremendous pressures and things in my first marriage, and that woman was bloody bulletproof. She broke in the end. She had 5 children under 5 and Christ knows what else going on. I was building houses and churches and she was neglected. And we struggled financially, and she broke in the end, and got banged by another bloke. But we all made up. I ended up helping that bloke later. He was a dickhead. He was never going to last. And then she got married to another weightlifter guy, and he's a nice man for who he is and where he ended up. They had 3 children, and they come to the property and swim in that. It's good to be forgiving and to understand that life has twists and turns that don't always suit us. And it's not good to hold scorn on people after these things have come to fruition, because a relationship will cause formations between the people that are unpredictable. This is what people don't realise. Everything's always fine at the start, but the spiritual formations, like when you mix resin and hardener together, there's going to be a formation, there's going to be an outcome. Those formations develop as time passes by through the bonding and mixing of the two of you, and sometimes it's not always favourable, and you need to understand that and accept that. So these people that justify affairs and make out that you're not that doesn't justify you. I don't think anybody's trying to justify anything. If your missus is getting banged up the arse by another bloke, you've just got to make sure that you're presenting yourself properly, no matter... See, they'll blame and deny. They'll carry on like nothing's wrong. They drive you around the bend until you're completely out of your wits, and then they bung this shit on.
Not all of a sudden excuse anything you...
Here we go.
It does not all of a sudden excuse anything you ever did wrong.
Do you know what? And this is the whole point. Did she come to the forefront with the issues that she had with the bloke? No, she went and got banged by another bloke. You've got it. See, this is called underlying resentment and bitterness towards your marriage partner. It's an inability to have the transparency to share what's wrong. And the answer to that for most women is, I'll fix how I feel with somebody else, which is undermining what they've said at the altar.
Cheating is never okay.
No, cheating is never okay. But she went and done it, right? What's her point here? Whatever her point is, mate, put it this way, if she was in the Middle East, ancient Middle East as it stands now, she'd be dead. She'd be dead on the premise of she never brought her issues to the husband. She never gave him, obviously, an opportunity to fix them. She had an affair and hid it for over 5 months. She got caught through a phone, right? She was still talking to the guy that banged her. She reckons she wasn't doing it, but she was still talking to him. She betrayed every aspect and respect of that marriage, spiritually and physically, that you could comprehend, and she thinks she's going to dictate to anybody who does what? No.
But if it happens to you, it doesn't automatically make you the perfect person in the entire relationship.
Well, what does it make you then? It makes you realise that you've married a very dishonest and unfaithful person. Don't be fooled by looks, guys. This is Pro Bricky on the Pro Bricky exclusive YouTube channel. Stay on guard. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Don't be judgmental. Just be aware. And if people are making you angry or they're not resolving things, man, don't let it get to this stage where they're getting banged by somebody else. Kick them to the curb, mate, because it's going to be inevitable that something bad's going to happen. I'll see you on the next one, and bye for now.